All right, guys, today I want to go over the #1 way to lose customers and why it's probably happening for your brand, but a few things you can do to fix it. So let's talk about the most important thing, our website. And even deeper, the most important thing on the website is the first thing people see on your website. Too many of you have all this text, an explanation, or just products straight away. You are giving them no introduction to the brand. They don't know you, they don't trust you, and they're going to leave the site within 2 seconds. And so we need to change that. We need to make sure that when people get on the site, they are not only hooked, but they are actually beginning that journey of not just buying, but becoming a lifetime customer. So let's get into that today. So I'm going to share my screen. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go in depth on what this actually should look like. All right, guys, so let's talk about a website. Now, yes, I'm gonna use mine right now, but I wanna really showcase what about this site works. So the first thing that we have is we have a logo, we have our menu, and we have an immediate call to action, save 100 plus on our fit kits. This is something that right off the bat, even if you don't really know habits, even if you're not too sure if you're interested, even if you are not certain that you're gonna buy, you are hooked, right? And that is super important. And so progress over perfection, that's the tagline. Activewear for those who get better. That could be improved, but it's okay. For now, get in motion, right? Something that people can click on and boom, go to the best sellers, right? And so let's go back to the homepage. But we need those first 3 elements immediately. And what I'm noticing, a lot of you don't have that call to action. You have welcome to my store. Maybe you have an AI generated photo, and that's about it. That is not gonna cut it in 2026 for your clothing brand. You absolutely need to have a cover photo. You need to have a call to action, and you need to have a button that says shop now and a special offer. That is the bare minimum. If you have anything less than that, you need to fix it, and you need to make sure that you have all 4 of those elements. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and customers are going to leave. So once we have this first initial page ready to roll, we wanna jump right into products. We wanna go to new arrivals, right? You know, the motion collection is here. Okay, what is this all about? We have a slider emoji, not emoji, sorry. We have a slider tool here. And again, we can have some fun with this. We have another collection of bestsellers. Some of our applique sweatsuits sell really well, so we wanna showcase those, we wanna push those. And then just different savings and different things people can do in order to get discounts. And then hoodies and sweaters, and then we have fitness across the board here. And then we have reviews. Product reviews are super important. A lot of you guys don't have them because you don't have that many customers, but that's okay. 10 reviews is still better than 0. And so we wanna make sure that we have those reviews. And then of course we're promoting the applique set, we're promoting these fitness products. There's some things that this theme can do that others can't. And so I always like to showcase that and, you know, feature it. And then we have sales, we have our story. This should be higher up, I think. But overall, we have something that looks good and that gets the job done across the board on the homepage. Now, the homepage doesn't need to be ordered exactly like that, step by step. I'm gonna show you a couple of other websites and we'll talk about how their homepages compare to yours and what you can do to make it custom, to make it your own. Instead of having to necessarily copy and paste something, the layout can really be whatever you want it to be as long as it's easy to navigate. And we're gonna talk about a navigation trick that I learned a few years ago, and it works a charm. So going to another website, let's look at this Christian clothing brand. So we can see here, we have a cover photo right off the bat. And we have a few different ones here. Now this is for mobile, and so we wanna make sure that we have that done. Shop by collection, right off the bat, we have savings, we have deals, we have stuff that's really exciting. And we have, again, good product photos. We have good, on our story, read our full story, right? We have something that is very exciting and that people can continue to scroll and not feel like they have to stay or not feel like they're being pressured, but they can just understand, you know, what's going on here. And so in terms of this homepage, it follows the same rules. Now I wanna look at one more that's a little bit different. Now this one's very plain, but it's a very simple call to action. They have the offer, they have the logo, they have the menu, they have the button, and they have the photo. So they follow all of the rules here as well. And they have their new arrivals, their favorites, their photos. And then we just have some social proof about, okay, who are we actually? What are we actually doing here? Now, when focusing on a website in general, the homepage, yes, it is your most important, but we don't want to neglect the other elements of the pages and of the website. So we want to look a little bit about our story. We want to look at the product pages. So let's jump into that right now. So I want to look at the mission statement, the our story. So the first thing we see is what is the company? And then we have an explanation here. If we do that on this page, we'll see the same exact thing. A little different layout, but the same vibe, the same situation of seeing what this is all about. And especially here, we're gonna see the same thing too, right? We see a story and we're able to understand something. Even if we don't know what the brand is, we can at least understand that, okay, I know what's going on. I feel more comfortable with this. And so in all three of these brand examples, we have something that we know we can trust, or at least if we're not a fan of it, we understand who they're for and okay, maybe it's not for me, or oh, this is totally for me. And so what a lot of brands try to do is they try to be for everyone. And that's where you get hurt, is when you're for everyone, you get nobody. But when you're for your person, you get your person, right? And so it's really important to make sure that we are having a good our story page with imagery, with text, and with an understanding of, okay, who are we actually for and what are we actually doing here, right? In all three of these pages, we follow those guidelines. Now, I wanna talk about product pages because this is something that gets ignored very often. So let's just go to a random product page. So let's start with this one. A lot's sold out, right? So obviously we're selling quite a bit. Now, the first rule of thumb, having good mock-up photos is super important. As bonus points rather, if you have a picture of a model here, great. In this case, he does. I don't think it is necessary, but I think it would be good if you were able to have that. Product reviews, 100% necessary, not even a question. Making sure that they're verified. That's another bonus point. If you can get Judge Me, the product review app, no, they don't pay me to say that, but they're just a really good app and I recommend it to everyone. So, and then we have suggestions down here for more products. Now, bonus points again, if you have some sort of UGC and you can put it on the bottom of the product page, that's also really a great way to get people excited. The thing I love about UGC on the product page is not a lot of brands do it. Most brands actually don't. Mine doesn't actually do it right now. We're working on it. But the thing about that is because so few brands are even using UGC, the ones who are mostly running it on ads and socials, and that's great. That's a great use for it, and you absolutely should do that. I am a big proponent of UGC. If you know anything about me, or you've worked with me, or we've spoken, you know that the first thing I ask you when it comes to content, what's your UGC strategy? Most people go, what's UGC, right? And so you want to really focus on getting good user-generated content, but also using it on your website. Don't have your best asset be ignored or be buried or be exclusive to ads. It doesn't need to be the case. So let's look at another brand's product page. Let's jump here for a sec. We'll go to polos. We'll go to a new product. This is brand new, so it's probably not gonna have any reviews on it, but that's okay. Actually, for the sake of today, let's just go to one that's a bestseller that didn't just release like yesterday. Okay, let's go to this one. So we have reviews here. Okay, great. We have lots of photos. We have multiple different angles. This is excellent. We have a pop-up too. We have multiple different angles. We have encore shots. So this looks professional. This is not AI slop. This is legit. And I feel as a buyer, I'm gonna enjoy this too, right? And so the size charts, right? Critical. You need to have the size charts. Even if you're just selling regular hoodies and shorts and sweats, that's fine. Just looking at this computer getting a little low here, but I'll recharge it soon. So essentially we have reviews here. That's great. That's huge. We have favorites. Okay. And then we have just some basics here that let us know what's going on. Again, bonus points for UGC on the bottom. So as we can see now, let's jump over to this product page and let's just do one last example of what we've got going on. And so we obviously have this model in the applique set, right? We're sold out, it's a good seller. And so essentially, right, it follows the same rules. We have the reviews, no UGC, but that's what I suggested. So I'm gonna work on that for my own brand. And really we wanna focus on all these elements. And when we have everything like that in place, we are able to get a higher conversion rate and we are able to also get to the point where we can really start having the brand sell itself. Now, the last part of the website that I really want to focus on is the special features. So these aren't things that are necessarily required, but I would recommend them. The first one is the lookbook. I love having a lookbook. I'm gonna show you a couple here real quick because it just allows people to see your brand a little bit deeper and a little bit further than maybe what you're promoting on socials one particular day, or what you're posting one afternoon, or what you're running an ad on, tomorrow, right? And so let's take a quick look at a lookbook. So I'm gonna show you my lookbook. And essentially, we want to put the best of the best here. We want to put our best photos. We want to keep them recent. So every quarter, I like to update these. I want them to be fresh. I want them to be new. I want them to be a little bit diversified, but I want the same vibe. I want the same intention, and I want the same understanding about what's actually going on here. Who is actually looking at these, and are they going to be intrigued and excited about what we're posting? And so don't have this. This is not useful. So get rid of that. That's an error, actually. See, even brands that make millions and millions of dollars still have a lot of errors. So always make sure that you're on your game and on your P's and Q's, because if you don't, someone else will be. Now, again, going to the collection pages, that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. Really the same thing, the consistency, the cohesion, right? A lot of you guys are using AI slop. I really recommend that you don't use it. Pay for the photo shoot. It's a couple $1,000. It's gonna make a huge difference. Look how much better this page looks than, your collection page. It's not to say I'm better than you, I'm not. But I have done the work to get to the point where it looks really professional and really legitimate. And you really wanna make sure you do that with your collection pages. Not to jump back and forth too much between the lookbook, but I really wanna make sure that that part is taken seriously, because at the end of the day, if you have something that doesn't look legitimate, people are not gonna buy. It doesn't matter. Let's even go to Nike. I mean, it's funny how Lulu took their SEO. That's pretty cool. So we're gonna click on Lulu. We're gonna make them pay for that click though, right? Look how consistent this is. You're not doubting for a single second that this brand's legit. Yes, you know who they are, but if you didn't, if this was a blind taste test, you would say, oh, they look pretty legit. This looks like a multi-million-dollar brand. But you're wrong. They're a multi-billion-dollar brand. Why? Because they've been doing it for so long, which is another topic we'll talk about later on. And so really the main focuses are just continuing to improve your website one bit at a time. It's probably going to be a lot of work if you're just starting out with your website, but even if you're doing 30, 40, 50, 100K a month, there's probably still small elements of the website that you can always improve, that you can always make better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a comment or a question, leave it in the comment section. I would love to hear, do you like topics like these? Would you like me to talk about something else? And are there any questions that you have about me, my journey, or my experience? I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next video.